Craig, Harry, congratulations through
Thank
to
you.
the grand final, the 11th for the club, Craig. How proud are you of this moment?
Yeah, I'm sort of probably had time to think about Lara too much, but I just, just how the game went today. It was one of the, I've been involved in a few games, in my lifetime, but that was one of the strangest ones. I thought, the start, and then that start, and then all of a sudden we were, was it 22-6 in front, and then all of a sudden it was 24-18, and they were coming after us then, and then the score would be like it was at the end, like I say, it was really, a lot of games are a roller coaster ride, but that was probably, the highest and the lowest that I can remember, to be quite honest, especially in a big game like that, So, but like I say, our guys showed a lot of resilience after the start. To have Nelson in the bin basically straight away, from the kick-off. It didn't seem to phase us too much, and so we kicked on from there. Obviously, cost us a couple of points, but really happy how they, the resilience they showed, to handle that situation. Then, kick on strong, the rest of the half.
You had so many star players in your team, but your halfback had a hat trick tonight. How handy was Jerome Hughes in that performance?
Yeah, I just think that's just a bit of a sign of what he's been doing all year, to be quite honest. He's always come up with the game that we need from him. Sometimes it might be, a real good kicking game. Sometimes it might be a real good running game. Sometimes it might be just organising and passing. He can just pick, or he seems to be able to pick what the team needs, and he can just come up with that game. He's very versatile in that, in his position. Obviously, his run game is probably the strongest part of his game, but like I say, he can just pick what needs doing, and he's got the attributes and the ability to do it, and he's been doing that all year.
Are you worried about not having Nelson next week?
Again, you'd be worried about it. You'd hate to see him miss a big game. I didn't think. To me, I didn't think it was a sin bin. Penalty, I thought was fair enough. But that's just me. I just I think I've seen it once, and then I've seen it live, and then I've seen one replay, and that was my sort of impression. But at the end of the day, that's I keep going on about the controllable, so I can't control that. But we'll have a closer look at it. But I didn't think there was a whole heap in it.
Harry's got something on his calf. I think Jerome had an issue with his neck. Nick Meaney an issue maybe with his knee. How are they? Or Harry can speak for himself, but how are the other two?
Yeah, I've really got to give Harry here a rap, and Hughesy. They were struggling at half time, and we had a decent lead at half time, but it was way too early to pack the tent up and think we're home. So I just sort of said to him, if you can go out and play another 15-20 minutes and see how it goes, and we might replace you. But then we had, then Nick got hurt, and then we weren't quite sure how bad he was, and it just seemed to take ages to decide whether he was going to come off or not. So for these two guys to basically play out the game, I think he usually come off in the last 5. Just goes to show, not only, we all know what good players they are, talented players they are, but they're tough bastards, and to be able to play out the second half like they did today was, it just goes to show that they've got a great care for what the team needs, and they're willing to put themselves on the line for that. So, answer your question, I'm not quite sure how bad everyone is. We'll get the medics to have a look after this, and then we'll see where we're at.
Craig, your 11th grand final now. Is it the same preparation each time, or do you take different approaches heading to each week?
Geez, I can't remember the last grand final. Like, yeah, we prepared and approached it. So I don't know about the ones before that. Again, I think it's a bit like any big game. You sort of, you probably have got a bit of a routine for that, but at the same time, you got a gut feeling. You got different people in your team. For the different grand finals, you got your team's stronger in some areas one year than stronger in other areas, other years. So, and obviously you got to take in consideration, your opposition. So, our first job is to see who we think's going to be available, and get the injury report on these guys, and then go from there.
Obviously, 2020 was quite different. You're up on the Sunshine Coast in a COVID bubble. Will it be a bit smoother, do you think, being at home, being in the comfort of your own environment?
To be quite honest, that was probably one of the smoothest I think we've ever had, because we were all there together. Every time we had breakfast, we were there together. Every time we had lunch, we were there together. Every time we had dinner, we were there together. So we were just together. So to me, that made it easier, to, I suppose, sync, for the semi-final month, and then certainly the grand final, So I reckon that was one of the probably easier preparations, because everyone was together, the whole time, So, but like I say, we'll handle it what we think's the best way to handle it, and we'll have a bit of a plan, the next half hour or so about what our schedule for the week, and then we'll put a bit of meat around the bones then.
Harry, how happened out there? What did you feel? What's happened to your leg?
I just I got a little knock in my calf, and then sort of was a bit tight, so it was just more of a precautionary awareness to the physios, and then just got a little bit of treatment on it and go again. But I think we got a longer turnaround, so just be smart with how I manage it tonight and over the next couple of days. But it'll be good.
Craig, described the game as a roller coaster. Is that how it felt for you guys out there? Like, after the first, few minutes or whatever, that had those penalties against you, the sin bin, you couldn't really have had a worse start, I guess.
I think, we've faced a lot as a group throughout the pre-season, throughout the season, and got to give our whole squad a lot of credit in that area. We just get on with things. That's been a real strength of ours this season. Pre-season carried into the season. We've won plenty of games from all different positions, and tonight was no different. I think you can't take away from the Roosters and the players they have, the attacking threats that they have, and obviously the start wasn't ideal, but I felt like we were very good at getting ourselves back in the game. We learned a lot of lessons throughout the year as well with that, and then obviously the start of the second half, that's not how we wanted to start, but you got to take it. In the Roosters team style of play, they changed a few things, and we probably missed a few things there, individually and collectively as a team, and then they were back in striking range. But I think, like I said, we did a really good job to wrestle things back and get back on with the style of footy that we wanted to play, and it rewarded us in the end.
You obviously don't know who you're playing, but can you give us an idea on, obviously the Cronulla or Penrith, can you give us an idea on those two teams and what sort of challenge they'll present next week?
Well, it's hard. I think it's going to be enjoyable for us to put our feet up, watch that game tomorrow night, knowing and we're there next week. That's what you set out to do as a team at the start of the year. You want to be in the grand final, and ultimately you want to win one. So that's probably something that we can enjoy. But I think it goes to show Penrith are such a class side, won the last 3 premierships, and they're very disciplined with the way they play. And I think Cronulla are sort of in the middle of Penrith and the Roosters, the style of play that they play. They got a big forward pack, big outside backs, and I think it's going to be a really physical and aggressive match tomorrow night. So, answer your question, I'll just put the feet up and enjoy watching it.
Harry, did the calf actually debilitate you at all during the game, or mess with how you played, or did you just sort of go through it?
No, it didn't phase. I think I'm really comfortable with our performance staff, our physios, and I really respect their sort of views or opinions. And there was no incident or great awareness, so they were happy for me to roll on. And it's this time of the year, it's what you got to do. So.
Craig, with the support running, the way the guys help each other and get alongside each other to get tries and that sort of thing, have they been especially good at it this year? The team, it seems Hughes or Harry or whoever seems to find a way onto someone's shoulder to get in for tries.
Well, I don't think we really practice that, but
Master coach.
I've got no idea actually. But obviously, I think the longer our spine has played together, they know what each other's going to do in certain situations, or what the picture is in front of them. They don't have to think about it; it just comes natural because they've been playing together for a fair while now. So it's I think even the more they play with each other, the more they'll get to know each other. It's the combinations. A lot of times you haven't got time to communicate what you're going to do, but they just know what each other's going to do. In this situation, he'll do that. Doesn't matter whether the good thing about our blokes, they don't. It doesn't matter whether they're tired, they're under fatigue, under pressure, whatever. They'll still get that job done. Whereas I think when they're a bit younger and whatever, sometimes if they're a bit tired, but they won't turn up where they should be turning up to. And I think our guys have been through that, and they know that they just won't let each other down now.
But what about maybe players maybe like Trent Liero and Josh King probably don't get the raps they deserve, but they seem to have really taken their game to another level this year. What have you made of their contribution?
Me? Well, they probably don't get too many raps outside the club, but they get plenty of raps here. They always feature in our the do's, not the don'ts. They're just so hard workers that they're not flashy players, but they're tough players, physically and mentally, and they're the sort of players you want in your team, and they just keep turning up each week. You know what you're going to get from them, and I think that's a real great trait to have. They know these guys are going to do the flash stuff, but they just need to do a lot of the hard stuff, and they do, and they don't complain about it, they don't question it, they just get it done.
Craig, there's been 2 blokes in 2 weeks now getting knocked out from kickoffs. It's been a bit of a debate. It's sort of been simmering, this debate about the kickoff and whether we should modify it or change it. Do you have a view on it?
Not really, no. At the end of the day, I'm old school. Kickoffs have been around as long as I can remember rugby league, so I think it's a big change, but I can understand what they're saying. You got that kickoff, so you got the guy coming back, he's probably got 20 or 30 metres to hit, top speed, so the collision's going to be a little bit more harder than what it would be if you just coming off a play the ball. So it's a kick off for the game. Everyone's pumped up and ready to rip in. So perhaps that might be the area that they need to take that out of. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Obviously you could just change to a play the ball somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where that'd be. That'd take a bit of thinking about, I think. But I can understand where they come from. As I said, I think because the collisions, because they've got more momentum up, both players, well, it's going to be a harder collision, and if it goes wrong and someone gets hit in the head, well, that's a collision that you don't want in the game, you know. So, I'll leave that to the powers to be.
What Craig said.
I thought you might go there.
Craig, last couple guys. Craig, nice exchange at the end. You and JW Wade, obviously it's quite bittersweet. Legends like that, and Luke Keary departing the game and the legacy that they have left on the NRL.
Oh, yeah, like, I remember when Luke left South, we tried to get him here. I thought we were a really good chance. You know, we spoke to him, and, you know, I could see what a good player he was, but when I met him, I could just, he was just a good bloke too, a good person, you know, a person that you love in your club. And I must say, I've always been a real big fan of Jared. I just love the way he plays the game. You know, he doesn't take any prisoners, and he never has. He's never going to. But like I say, I reckon they've give certainly the Roosters fans, you know, a lot of really good times, and you know, to be as good as they have been, and consistently good for a consistently long period of time. I just think they've been tremendous, obviously for the Roosters, but they've been tremendous for the game as well. And I just, you know, myself personally and us as a club, I would imagine, just to wish them all the best, because, you know, they've had a lot of battles with our teams too, you know, especially Jared. But as I said, you know, I really admire how they play the game and that consistency they've shown over such a long period of time. You know, I think they probably, I don't know, deserve a few more reps than what they're getting.
Craig, the right side was really effective tonight. Can you talk a bit about the combination between Eli Katoa and Jerome Hughes and how that's developing?
Oh, well, again, it's, I'm not quite sure how long they've been together. Like, obviously this year with Eli come to the club, and I'm not quite sure. I think it's there's a little bit of Kiwi in there too. You know, they probably get, you know, get on a little bit better with each other because they are Kiwis. And but yeah, no, they've been tremendous. You know, I don't. Ellie's been one of those players that has come here not with a great reputation, but geez, he has been outstanding for us. I don't think, I couldn't imagine there's been a better buy in the competition than, you know, what he's done for us this year. He has been outstanding, and I know he got rewarded with that during the week. You know, he got picked in the team of the year, but, you know, I don't think we could have asked any more of what he's given us. And as I said earlier, with Jerome, he's just been, you know, consistently really good, you know, for, you know, the period of time he's been our halfback.
Thanks, guys.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights, action, 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour, grab a seat on the couch for that. And of course, my favourite, Freddie in the Own.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm, subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.